You
for
said the
those
president
states.
should rethink healthcare reform.
Absolutely, because that's not healthcare reform. To go and to put that extra burden, billions of dollars, on other states, especially on California, just because we are the best state in the world and the best place in the world, and we are the most diversified economy, and everyone wants to come to California. There's no reason to beat up on California and to always ask for more money from California. I think it's time for the federal government to go and to take care of us.
Is that how you think about healthcare reform, as something that ultimately would beat up on California?
Yes, it is. Right now it is. And I just cannot imagine why we would have, like I said, for instance, our senators and congressional people, how they would vote for something like that, where they're representing Nebraska and not us. And by the way, as I said in my State of the State, that's the biggest ripoff. I mean, that is against the law to buy a vote.
You're talking about Senator Nelson.
Senator Nelson, that's like buying a vote to say, hey,
the federal government will pay for their Medicaid expansion.
I'm holding out my vote unless I get some extra kind of benefits here. I mean, if you do that in Sacramento, you'll be sued. It is illegal to do that, to buy votes.
Can I ask you a couple of more California issues? One of the things you talked about that got a lot of attention is your pledge to move money out of the state budget from prisons into higher education. I don't have to tell you, the University of California system has raised fees for students. What is the future of education in California?
I think the future of education in California is great. I think we still have the best university system in the world. The key thing is that we reform education from kindergarten through 14, especially kindergarten through 12, because it is inexcusable of what we had up until now, and we were fighting to change that for years now, and finally we were able to change it. Just the other day I signed legislation to reform education. It's inexcusable that children get stuck in low-performing schools, and you cannot get them out without the school principal's permission. Of course, the school principal will never give you the permission, because he will be losing money if he lets a kid go out. So they are stranded, they're strapped there. As I said, it was like a chain in the exit door, on the exit doors. And now we finally changed that. Or, for instance, that parents cannot be involved in the schools, cannot be involved in which direction the school or education should go. Now they have, with that reform, they have a chance to turn low-performing schools or failing schools into charter schools, or close the school down, or move the kids out of the school, or fire the school principal, or teachers, and so on and so forth. So those are the kind of things, those are the kind of reforms we need to do. And I'm glad that finally both parties got together and created those reforms that we've been fighting for years. And here's a good example of a good relationship with the federal government, because the Obama administration was very instrumental. Arnie Duncan, the education secretary, to push the states to say, here's $4.3 billion for you guys. You can apply and compete for this money. And we can get $700 million. So that kind of put it over the top. So there was, the federal government very helpful in this.